Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And joining me today is somebody who I met at KatsuCon. Now, when I met him at KatsuCon, they were cosplaying as Omni-Man, and your boy Deku, he had a conversation with him, and he told Omni-Man, "You really let me down." But today, he's not cosplaying as Omni-Man, and that is Prime. Prime, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. I just finished working out at the gym, just pumped the
Nice.
guns, and I'm ready to go, man. How about you?
Pretty good. What'd you work on today?
Today was chest and abs.
Nice. Back and buys for me.
Nice. Back and shoulders is tomorrow. Tomorrow's back and shoulders, and then Friday is tries and buys.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's always good talking to another gym bro, man, because gym is life. And we go to the gym so that way we can get the peaks on top of peaks, which is what you have, and you show off in some of the cosplays that you do. So we're going to talk about that in today's interview. But before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So Prime, the first question that I ask each and every guest up here is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are.
Oh, goodness. Well, this is my cat.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
We love having pet cameos up here.
Hi. So origin story as in how? Like just me as a person or me as a cosplayer?
Like, what was it that led you to getting into cosplay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
hold on, but before you say that, we just had a cameo from your cat. What's your cat's name?
His name's Valor.
Hey, what up, Valor? Hey, we gotta give Valor a shout out. He made a cameo. Now we can get into the origin story.
Yeah, he likes to make his presence known as soon as I start talking with something important. So how I got into cosplay is kind of funny because I got into it when I didn't even know what cosplay was. So as a lot of people know, I peaked too soon. My first cosplay that I made was Master Chief. It took about 3 years to make. And I was at a Halloween costume contest and someone says, "Oh, have you ever been to a cosplay convention?" And I was like, no, what's that? And they're like, "Well, it's basically a lot of people that look like you." I was like, "You mean just like in costume, like in just in one spot?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Say less. When's the next one?" So the next one was about, I don't know, 3 months away at Anime Boston, and I went to that and went by myself. And the whole time I was driving down, I was like, I shouldn't go to this. No one's gonna really care if there's a bunch of people who look as good or probably better than me, so I should just turn around. And then I get near the con and I see people walking around in cosplay. I was like, my people. So I only went for a day. I walked around the con by myself and took lots of pictures, met a bunch of people, and just kind of made friends and spiderwebbed out from there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's always crazy because I want to piggyback off of something you said, because you said that you had already peaked when you had got into cosplay. And every guest that I've had up here, they always say that their origin story starts with Halloween, and yours started with going to a Halloween party. And that's what led you to getting into cosplay. And, the cosplays that you've done over the years, you've done some incredible cosplays. So I want to ask you, give me your top 5. What are your top 5 favorite cosplays that you've done?
Well, Master Chief is it's number one because it was literally like my safety blanket, my suit of armor in the beginning. That like I was, safe. People couldn't see my face, but I could still be, I could still, be this larger than life character and, meet people, talk to people, and people, generally wanted to, oh, like, how'd you do this? What'd you do here? Sort of thing. So he was really the gateway drug, just because he opened up so many friendships and lanes of communication for me. I say that because I'm probably an extroverted introvert. So like, I'm in my normal everyday life, I'm fairly reserved, and I'm not super outgoing, but as soon as I'm at a cosplay convention, it's me, but I'm at like 11. So it's a really cool hobby to kind of come out of your shell. And for me, that literally happened because I lost a bet to a friend of mine, and then my I'm not gonna put this up in my favorites, but I lost the bet and literally had to, and figuratively had to, come out of my shell. So I had to be a Pokemon for my second one, and that kind of led to my whole gym journey, because I was like, well, if I'm not gonna be in the armor that much anymore, and I'm gonna not have a shirt on, well, time to get to the gym. So so back to your original question. So we're putting it Master Chief at number 1. I'm gonna put Grimjaw at number 2. Again, another character that really I really wanted to kind of bring out my all in terms of how I looked physically for that, because Grimjaw's been a favorite character of mine for ages. And so that was real fun to bring him to life. He was actually really popular. I might do version 2.0 later this year. I'm not 100% sure. See, this is tough, because it's like picking your. I don't have kids, but it's like picking your favorite children.
Well, it doesn't have to be in any particular order.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put them as 1 and 2,
Okay.
and the next 3. I'll just, in no particular order. So the next one I'm going to go with is Ace from One Piece. He's definitely my favorite character from One Piece, because he's got a little brother just like I do, and he wants to protect him and do what he can to kind of steer him in the in the right way of life, even though the Straw Hats are technically terrorists, but but I just really Ace really resonated with me on a personal level. And like I said, I've got a little brother, and I'm so proud of him, and the person he's become. So Ace is very much like a comfort character to me. Let's see. I've only worn him at KatsuCon the one time, but it was incredibly fun being Guile from Street Fighter. And shout out to my friend Taylor. I commissioned the wig from her, and she knocked it out of the park with a real quick turnaround. So it's if you're gonna be Guile, you gotta have the wig, and like you can't be Guile without that hairstyle, and it's just so out there and literally like a pizza of hair on your head, on the top of your head. But that was a lot of fun. I got to take some silly pictures with some friends of mine doing Cammy and M Bison. Ran into a Chun-Li, and it's really cool bringing an old school character to life that you really don't see often, because
Yeah.
like that, like this is the only wig I've ever done, and it's all right. Um, it's you know that's like such a difficult skill to master, and I'm really lucky to have a friend who is able to help me out with that. Um, and then we're on to number 5, right?
Yep. Number 5, the final one.
All right. No, number 5, I gotta go with Let Me Solo Her. I had no idea that was gonna be as popular as it has been. I know I didn't bring him to KatsuCon, but I met the very first Let Me Solo Her cosplayer at PAX East last year, I believe. Yeah, last year. And the whole story had gone viral literally 2 weeks before this con, and I asked for a picture with him, and I was just like, I have to do this year. I debuted at Dragon Con, and man, I was just getting stopped left and right, and it was just like such a it's such a fun, like, tongue-in-cheek character. Even though he's not really a character, he's a player.
Yeah.
So but they have put him in the game as a puppet in Elden Ring. He's obviously not as powerful as the actual Let Me Solo Her, but it was just so much fun to run around with a pot on my head. And mostly that being it. So it takes a lot of liquid confidence to get into that guy.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I want to piggyback and ask you a question, because you were talking about your brother and you were talking about Ace. Have you and your brother, have y'all done any cosplays together, or does he cosplay at all?
No, he doesn't. He's way cooler than I am. So no, he supports it from afar. I don't know if I'll ever get him to go to a con with me. PAX East might be a good one because he lives in Boston. But he asks me questions, and I tell him stories from the convention and everything. But no, there are no brother duos in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, like, I have a younger brother too, and he supports the cosplays. He loves when I put them on and whatnot, but I don't think that he would ever cosplay with me. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, maybe one day our brothers might be like, you know what? Let's do it. YOLO. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it.
Exactly.
I cosplay as Joe Terrell. He might be like, I'll cosplay as old Joseph or something. Who knows?
Who's that cosplayer?
It's Salmon and Jupiter.
So I want to ask you now, because at the start of the interview we were talking about the gym and whatnot, and how you were just mentioning with Let Me Solo Her, and pretty much like you're putting your whole body out there. I want to ask you, like, what are some recommendations that you would give to anybody that would love to get into better shape, so that way that they can do what you do when it comes to cosplay?
So I get asked this question a lot, and I keep going back to how one of the things I love about this community is that you can be any gender, shape, size, race, and you can cosplay whoever you want to. Like, not being the same body type as a character should never bar anybody from portraying that character. If you love a character and you want to bring them to life, do it. That's my creed for the community as a whole. But for my own stupid head, and obviously Escanor is kind of a big dude, and I had to be talked into him. if I want to cosplay a particular character, I want to do my best to look like them physically.
Mhm.
So if somebody is just starting out, maybe they see a character, oh man, I would really like to look like that character. You can do it, but it's, we live in an age where, everything's instant, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Your body is not instant. So it's time and consistency. I fail all the time on my diet, on going to the gym. Sometimes I need a friend to send me a message to motivate me, or I'll see maybe they're at the gym in their stories on Instagram, and it's just like, all right, that's it. Like, that helped give me the motivation to push me over the edge where I was going to be like, I'll go to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm not perfect with my diet. I'm not perfect with my gym regimen, but I've put the time in, and I've been consistent enough to portray, the type of body that I want to portray.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a lot. There's a lot that goes into that too, but at the very base level, that's what it is. It's time and consistency.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And one of the things that I always say is that it's a marathon, not a race. And just like how you were saying, it's just like, it's not going to happen instantly. And I will say this, this past weekend, I had went to Heroes Con, and it was the first time that I had actually worked out at a con, because I always go to conventions and I always bring my gym stuff with me, but I never work out. I always tell myself, I'm like, yo, I'm going to work out. When I go to the cons with my boys, I'm like, yo, we're going to go to the gym, and we never go to the gym. So I worked out twice while we were at the con, and I felt really good doing it. And my goal is to go to a convention and get all of my mutuals that work out, or maybe if they don't work out and they just want to come work out, and we all go to the gym in the morning before the con, so that way we can get a nice pump, and then we're ready for the day. But it's so hard because you do so much at conventions and whatnot. If you go to a party that night, and then it's like you're drained from the party, and like there's just so much. But luckily, and I feel like this was the reason too, we didn't do any partying, and it felt it actually felt really nice. It felt nice to just go to the convention, hang out with people, and then after we finished hanging out at that night, wake up in the morning and work out. So I mean, it was pretty cool. But moving along, I want to go back to One Piece, because you were talking about Ace, and just recently the One Piece live action teaser trailer just came out. So I want to ask you, what are your opinions on the live action series as a whole? Are you excited about it? When you saw, like, at first when it was announced, did you say, man, why are they doing this? And then you saw the trailer and was just like, hey, I'll give it a chance. Like, what's your whole overall opinion on it?
So fun fact, about 2 years ago, I was just scrolling through Facebook, and somebody had made this, fake, Netflix live action, like poster.
Yeah.
And whoever this person was out there, they picked my Ace to put on it.
Hey, that's awesome.
I'll send you the picture later. It's pretty funny. But that said, as we both probably know, live action anime adaptations are few and far between when they're good. I would say probably the best out there right now is the Rurouni Kenshin movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty fantastic. But I remember when they first announced it, and I was just like, oof, that's gonna be difficult live action without, Phantom Menace levels of CGI, because like look at the body types in that show. You know,
Yeah.
look at Frankie, look at Chopper, look at most of the villains.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is just ridiculous looking in that anime and manga. So I was just my initial thoughts on the announcement was like, okay, let's see. I did recently watch that trailer, and you know, it does look like they've put a lot of love into it. From, you know, what you can see in that, you know, quick couple of minutes. Buggy looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like the fact that they're trying to build out a lot of the sets instead of, you know, just CGI. Like, I think they actually built the Going Merry, which is cool. But you know, like, you can only hope for the best for the series. You know, I know there's a lot of people who love One Piece and enjoy it a lot more than I do. So I hope, you know, basically for their sake, that, you know, it's you know, it lives up to the hype. I think if now you go back and watch One Piece, like, from the beginning, it's really in those first, you know, 100 or so episodes, you can tell how it's really catered for children, which is fine.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on it?
So right now on the anime, I am only at episode 85 because I was watching it when it initially came out and life happened. You know, I stopped watching it. Same thing with Bleach and Naruto. I just finished Naruto back in 2020 because of the pandemic. But I tried to get into Bleach again, and I couldn't get into it. But Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood War, I could get into that. And after watching that, I'm just like, man, I don't think I can go back and watch Bleach. I'm good where I'm at right now. But seeing the teaser trailer, like, it looks like it's going to be good. I had saw another, like, reaction to the teaser trailer where the actors were watching it, and the guy that was playing Luffy, he was tearing up watching it. And when I saw that, I was just like, man, like, this guy really loves this project that he worked on if he's crying because, like, it's finally being revealed to the world. So, you know, just me seeing that, I'm just like, okay, I'm all for it. I'm going to check it out. Hopefully it's good. I feel like I've watched every live action adaptation of any anime that has come out, and a lot of times people will say it's hit or miss, but with live action, it's miss or hit. You know, it's only a couple of times where something is really good. But I'm looking forward to it. Like you said about Buggy, he is scary. Like, when I saw the trailer, I was just like, yo, like, he doesn't look happy at all. Like, this dude looks like a monster. So I'm looking forward to it. And you know, we're here at the end of the interview, and I have one final question for you, and I'm going to keep it on the live action talk. If there was an anime that you could either have turned into a live action series or a live action movie, what anime would that be?
Oof. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with my gut reaction, just because it's probably the best dark fantasy that there is. And hopefully I'll be cosplaying from it later this year. But I'm gonna go with Berserk. I think Berserk would be a fantastic live action series. If obviously with anything, if it was to be done right. The 27, you know, because sometimes with anime they can't get it right. Because the 2017 series was not great, especially for CG anime in particular. So, you know, I still watched it all, but they could have done better. The movies that are on Netflix a lot, Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
And actually, I literally bought an action figure a couple of years ago just for reference. So
yeah, I think that's a good choice. You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that you mentioned Berserk because when I work out at the gym, when I do cardio, I put on anime when I'm doing cardio. And I had started watching the 90s version of Berserk because I had never
That's
seen
good.
it. Yeah. It's really good. But then I got to the episode where they were showing Casca's backstory. And I was just like, I cannot watch this anime at the gym anymore. I wasn't expecting them to show what they were going to show. And luckily,
it's bleak.
Yeah, luckily it was super late at night and nobody's up at the gym. I mean, like most of the time, it's probably about like 2 or 3 people up there. But you know, sometimes people they be watching what I be watching when I'm doing cardio, and if they would have saw that, they would have been like, "Yo, what are you over there watching?" So no Berserk at the gym. If anybody has ever
about that too,
if anybody has never seen Berserk, do not watch it at the gym. But I do think that that's a good choice for a live action series. And also to piggyback off what you were saying, I checked out the 2016, 2017 Berserk, and I wasn't a fan of the CGI either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks. But I mean, you know, sometimes it's like people, they like to experiment with stuff and they like to see if it's going to work. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So with that being said, Prime, we are here at the end of the interview. Thank you so much for joining me up here. It was fun talking to you. And before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
I'm just on Instagram. That's the only place I'm at. So Instagram at Prime, but with 2 L's instead of 2 I's.
Awesome. Hey, and y'all know where y'all can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks at King Benji _Banks on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all again for watching this interview. Make sure you stay tuned for some more interviews. Check out the podcast. The link is down below in the description. And like I always say, stay positive. Keep that pinky up. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.